Tribe Off-Road.
Hey everybody, it's Bill from Tribe Off-Road. So today's video is going to be on the KFI Pro Poly 72-inch snowplow system for the Kawasaki Teryx4. In this video, it's going to cover the unboxing and the initial setup, things that we have found that we liked, things that we have found that we have disliked about this system so far. In part 2, we'll show it actually in working mode in the snow, and we'll be able to give you an honest review of how it works, what we like, what we do not like. A lot of people have asked why I decided to do a video on snow plows on a side-by-side. Quite honestly, if I still lived in Southern California, I probably wouldn't be doing this video. However, living in the mountains of southern West Virginia, up near a ski resort where we get lots of snow, and I'm getting way too old to keep shoveling snow, I decided this would be a good time to cover the snowplow system for those people who live in those areas. As I said, this is on a Pro Poly, so it's not a steel blade, it's actually a poly blade. And we'll get into it and we'll show you the pluses and minuses. So thank you for watching Tribe Off-Road. Let's get this started. So when we got ready and ordered this, it actually came in 2 different deliveries. First delivery arrived, it had the push bars, the springs, the mounting plate, and brackets. The second delivery came about 3 or 4 days later. It actually came on a tractor trailer. I had to meet the gentleman so I could get it offloaded and loaded in my vehicle to bring it home. In that box, it came with the plow, the skid plates, the corner markers, the upper flap, and the mounting hardware for the flaps and everything else. So we'll get into the video of opening up the second box. I lost the first video, I apologize, but we'll show you everything that we have and how it all came together.
So in box A, it appears that it is just the plow. Like I said, it is a KFI Pro Poly 72-inch. I'm supposed to have everything to mount it. A 2012 Kawasaki Teryx4. This says this is the, apologize, snow plow kit that was also in, or the skid kit, sorry, that is in with the blade. We'll see if there's anything underneath the blade. and it looks like the top flap and the marker flags. And maybe some nuts and bolts. Yes, nuts and bolts are for the top flap and the marker flags.
So one reason that we chose this plow system, of course, price was good. Also the size, 72 inches wide, which covered the distance of my side-by-side, plus a little extra width, which you always want to be wider when you're plowing. Also, the blade itself, instead of being a steel blade, the frame and the upper and lower parts for the plow are steel. Just the bucket part of the blade is a Pro Poly material, which lightened it a little bit. So we decided to go with that. I will tell you, one of the things with this, even with the Pro Poly part, this blade is still heavy. As you saw in the video, trying to maneuver it, it'll definitely give you a workout, that's for sure. So as many of you know, on our machine, we run the Pro Armor Under Armour on our machine, which we'll have a review on later. Was very leery about doing any modifications with it because just making sure my machine was protected. After confirming that this bracket would fit and it is designed for the Teryx, we went ahead and made a couple of modifications to the front of the Under Armour so I could put the bracket in. It has worked really well. The way it sits, it tucks up in the machine very nicely, so that way I don't have to remove and install this plate continuously, between seasons. The only concern I have with it is the front ears on the plate where the push bars hook in, but I have actually had it out riding with that plate on, and it's not something that easily gets snagged on anything. The way the angle is, it actually tilts, it follows the contour of the body very well, and protects the machine also. As far as mounting the plate, wasn't really that difficult. As you see in the above picture, there's U-bolts that hook through across your frame and then hook down into the plate, and everything bolts in real tight. On the front of the machine, at the front of the plate, where the machine kind of curves upwards, so if you were to drag something, as you saw in the previous picture and the picture of the plate, it actually contours up also. One of the things that we really like about it compared to the plows from Kawasaki is that where the push tubes hook in is right at the front of the machine. The Kawasaki plows, they actually bolt or hook up underneath the machine, which limits your ability to raise the plow into a significant area. You can only lift it a few inches, which makes it difficult in deep snow. So this is one thing that we're very happy with our plow. I will show you here in just a moment just how far we can get our plow manipulated. So as you can see in this picture, our blade actually comes all the way up to the light bar over the front bumper push bar. On Doug's with a Kawasaki plow, his only comes up about 4 to 6 inches. And when you're pushing a lot of snow, this can create some issues, I will say. So I really enjoy the fact that our push tubes hook at the front. We have more lift clearance for our blade. And it seems, as of now, to work really well. Of course, we'll have to see when it comes the differences between the two machines moving snow, how they perform. But right now, with what I am seeing with ours, I seem to like the KFI's mounting bracket better than Kawasaki's mounting brackets. Another item that I like about this plow system so far is actually the blade height and width. This blade is actually 24 inches tall, and then once you put on the upper flap, it's 27 inches tall. And like I said, it's 72 inches wide. The Kawasaki blades seem to be about half that size in height. The width, of course, is right about 60 inches, which is the width of the machine. Of course, if you run wheel spacers or anything like that, you're going to be blade's going to be narrower than your tire tracking. So I really like the depth of the blade, the height, the width. It just seems like I'll be able to move a lot more with this plow system than a lot of the others out there. Finally, another plus that we've noticed with ours, it makes it a lot easier to hook up with the mounting bracket. Of course, the push tube's hooking right at the front of the machine instead of having to crawl under the machine like with Doug's machine. Another thing that we have is, of course, we like that the blade does tilt at different angles. And then finally, with the pulley system, we've discovered with Doug's Kawasaki version, just strictly Kawasaki version plow, when he tries to raise his blade, where those push tubes hook up under the machine, it actually tries to pull the blade back into the machine instead of lifting. Whereas with our bracket, I had to change the way it was initially pulling up. However, I get a lot of height raising my blade versus Doug's. It's not pulling it back into the machine, it's actually raising the blade, which seems to, well, to me, would be a lot better. But like I said, we'll see in our next video with actually working with the snow. But one of the complaints that he had with his was that it actually pulled the plow system back into his machine instead of actually lifting the blade, and he was having some problems with the mounting bracket on the Kawasaki version versus the KFI version. So straight out the box, from mounting the mounting plate to putting all the hardware onto the plow, mounting the plow into the mounting plate, the ease of everything was very easy. The size of the blade, the height, the width, the availability to turn it to different directions, including tilting the blade down, forward, or back if you needed. Right now I'm giving this a 10. Of course, we'll do another video during the winter pushing snow with it. We'll compare it to another plow system, probably like Doug's Kawasaki, his Kawasaki blade and stuff, and we'll see how that does, what we like, what we don't like. We hope that you all like this video. If you do, please give us a like and a thumbs up. That helps us get you out more content. Like I said, we hope that you like this, so it gives you some options that you can consider for your machines. It doesn't have to be a Kawasaki. It can be a Can-Am. It can be a Polaris. It can be whatever type of machine it is. But if you're in an area where you need to move some snow, and you're considering putting one of these on your machine, hopefully this will help, and hopefully with the next video you'll be able to see a little bit more, and we'll get into, like I said, the pluses and minuses in part 2. So again, thank you for watching Tribe Off-Road. Have a wonderful day.